Alrighty, we're back. I'm Randy, and this is Lessons Learned. We are here today because you loved him all so much the first time. He's back for a record-setting appearance of 2. Iron Man himself, Tony Stark. Tony, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
New record.
New record. All right.
Dual seasons.
Yeah.
So, we're here to bring you the bug facts to upgrade your life. Bug fact, emotional stress can cause you to have a hard time losing weight due to cortisol's response in the body. Look it up. It's a real thing. But why do I bring this up? Because today we're going to be talking all about emotions. Everybody's favorite thing. I know I'm going to love this one. All right, Chris, take us in.
Thanks a lot. Damn it! I didn't have a name set up. That's okay.
Yes, you did. We talked about it last night.
Oh wait, yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Macropolis.
There it is.
There you go.
Yeah, Tony's here. So see, those are the emotions right there: anger and then joy.
Yeah,
right?
that was a roller
Boom.
coaster.
Nailed it.
2 in
Talk
one
about both
shot.
of those.
So yeah. So talking about emotions, Randy's always wants to punch people in the face. So maybe Tony, with his educated conversation today, will help Randy not want to do so.
Or
So,
at least
Tony-
know why I want to do
Doubt it.
so.
Yeah. Welcome back, man. It's good to have you. You know, I think you're the best episode we had so far. You sounded pretty smart. We're always
Now
big
all the
dogs,
other
so-
guests have heard that now.
I mean, Sam's the only other guest we had on Devo, but
Yeah.
Sam will be on back too. Be back on too.
one of 3 got it.
Talking
Nailed it.
is hard.
So emotions, huh? What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about emotions. Well, first off, Randy, are you a face puncher? Do you punch people in the face?
He's a
I would
face
love
puncher.
to punch many faces, but I have restraint.
Good.
He just thinks
Restraint
about
is
it
important.
all
Yeah,
the time.
think
Every
about
time
it
he sees
all
a
the
face.
That's why I go to the gym. I gotta get that anger out.
That's right.
You know, Chris
Gotta-
used to be when we
gotta
were
help
younger
you
as
out.
well.
Yeah, but I actually did punch you in the face.
Yeah, I know. I'd just be eating cereal.
Oh,
Funny story. I'd be
Christmas
eating
Day.
cereal, and he would just walk by me and just nail me right in the face.
It was so funny. I still do it.
and somehow that was love. All right. Well, anyhow, I'm glad Randy's not punching people in the face. You
Yet.
should have been a nicer brother, Chris.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyhow, over this pandemic, and we're now in the 15th month of 2020. There's been a lot of divide. Like, there's a lot of political divide. There's a lot of separation, and like, I think this, you think that, and highlighting people's differences. So when you guys asked if I wanted to come back on here, I was looking for something that was unifying, something that brings us all together, because it's something that we all have in common, and better ways to engage with it. So your emotions. Us as men are not encouraged to express our emotions for the most part. There is one emotion in particular that we all are pretty familiar with as men through sports and other things, which, if you had to guess, is
Anger.
it's
Anger.
anger. We're all pissed off men, big,
Oh, not
strong,
love?
angry men. Not all of us, but societally wise, that's what we are more informed on how to like be comfortable with. So we want to talk about anger, and we're going to talk about a bunch of other emotions. And before we talk about each separate one, we want to talk about what emotions are conceptually. So when you're feeling an emotion, when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling sad, and you're like not into it, like that's how you describe your day, there's something happening, and it's in your brain. Every perception that you have, every thought that you have, it all occurs in your brain, and it creates your reality. So emotions, which are an evolutionary tool that humans created or evolved with to help keep them safe. All your emotions are there to ensure that you are safe and that you can look at things and be like, I'm not going into that sketchy alley late at night where there's like, I don't know, gunshots or like something that would instill fear, for example.
You know, Brooklyn, Bronx.
Yeah, in the hood, y'all. That fear is what is an emotion that is keeping you alive, because it's deterring you from going into that dangerous situation. And it's the same thing with anger, where anger would be that fight response that your body's having because something is threatening your well-being. So it has a good part to it, but if you're walking around wanting to punch people in the face all the time, it needs some more analysis.
I plead the fifth.
So I'm not super smart on the neuroscience part of these things. There are a few key terms that I like kind of know. So in your brain, there's a bunch of different systems that handle all the things that you do, see, and perceive. One of them is the limbic system. So there's a bunch of parts in your limbic system, and I think scientists are still like arguing what parts are and are not limbic, but they're involved with memories. So the two things I'm going to talk about, and if I say any wrong facts, I hope somebody can correct me at some point. Talon can Google it. Who knows?
Get the bug facts.
Maybe.
I'm sure about this
Sounds
stuff.
like yes.
Yeah.
So three things I have to talk about: your frontal lobe, which control is like your most forward action creating part of your mind. So when you are playing soccer, it's that part of your brain that actually tells your foot to kick forward or kick from the side, because you don't kick with the tip of your toe, right?
I used to.
Correct.
Just
Soccer.
always toe pick that thing, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
don't
punch
know
with
anything
like
about
Well,
this
hit it with
part
the
of my
side.
fist.
for direction. You're just punching. We got to make a sport for you
Yeah,
where you
fuck
just
it.
punch.
Oh,
whatever.
that's a great
We can say
idea.
punch balls.
Promotional
Nice.
ball punching.
Okay.
Anyhow, so that is the action-based portion of your brain with your cortex, and then your amygdala is the next part I'll talk about. Your amygdala is what is triggered when you're having an emotion. So when you feel anger, when you feel sadness, when you feel whatever it is, it's your amygdala being triggered. And so what your amygdala does is it sends a message to your hippocampus. Your hippocampus is what stores and recalls memories. So your amygdala is adding that emotional response, that emotional experience to your hippocampus, which is adding it to your memories. And all these memories is called, that form of memory is called episodic memory, where your brain is able to notice an environment that reminds it of something that happened to it before, and immediately go into fight, flight. There's four responses. So there's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Freeze and fawn aren't talked about too often. I think freeze is more so and kind of straightforward. You just freeze in response to whatever's happening in your environment. Whereas fawn is like you feel like you have to like kiss ass in a sense. Like you have to like start being nice and
Fawn
know.
like FAWN.
FAUN, I think.
Fawn. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
pronunciation.
sure. We'll go with it.
Yeah,
Someone will
which an
correct us in the
example of that-
comments. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess an example of that is like as a child, if when you got yelled at by your parents, if you found a way to like get out of trouble or that guilt by like being like, "Oh, but I love you, mom, and I'll be in the kitchen, and I'll do this, this, and this," trying to like make up for it. That's an example of you feel threatened, so you're going to fawn to that threat in hopes that it doesn't see you as a threat, or
You're going to become a beta, basically?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. That's Rum's
Ergo
life.
face
No, I'm just kidding.
punch.
Okay. Rum's
Wow.
But with those four responses, there's actually a physiological response that happens. So your heart rate can increase or decrease, even with things like disgust, which is the emotion you get with like a really foul odor, which is supposed to keep you safe from eating like rotten meat or something like that. But it can make you pass the fuck out. Like you can just like knock out because you're so disgusted by that scent. But what that's supposed to do is actually slow your breathing because you're now fainted. So there's like a survival part of it, but and sometimes it's not the best idea. Like if there's some toxic gas and your body just is like, I'm passing out. Instead of
Yeah.
getting out of the house, there's some issues there. So the real sum of this entire conversation is that knowing that when your amygdala triggers, there's an emotional response that's deeply built into your brain from your entire life, your personality, your environment. So being able to identify what emotion you're experiencing and use your wise mind versus your emotional mind. Your wise mind being the one that's able to, what word did you use, Randy? Refrain from punching people in the face. That's using your wise mind because you realize, even though you feel angry and you feel angry for this reason, you know that the fact is acting on your anger physically is not going to help anyone in the long run. Versus your emotional mind, which is like, I'm going to punch you in the fucking face. I don't give a damn. I don't care about you or your family or your mom.
Just gonna send it.
I'm just going to send
Send
it. So yeah, I'm curious what you guys' experience has been as far as like expressing emotions, and if any of you had a challenging time with your emotions.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
I know I've
Yeah.
been so built up with anger this past like 2 weeks, man.
Yeah,
It's
you
just,
have.
Oh, your shoulders are rolling forward.
Well, I'm just trying to meet the mic now. Yeah,
Yes.
but
Do elaborate.
There you go.
um,
That's a power stance.
yeah. No, it's just I don't know. Some people ruin your day, and you try to not let it get to you. But with me, I'm usually really good at letting like people not control how I feel.
Good.
But lately, it's just been like brewing, and I don't know how to like stop. Like where I can't sleep very well, and I just feel stressed. I guess stress is the biggest thing,
You
but
are
it
not
stems from
alone.
anger.
Yeah, you're not alone in that. And the thing there is, a lot of times when people address like how they handle their emotions, it's like I have to ignore my emotion or like make it lesser. That's not helping at all, as you can
Yeah.
account for.
Yeah.
Your emotion, you have to process whatever gave you that emotion and think through it. You can't ignore it because it's an evolutionary part of your brain. Like it's not something new. It's not something that you learned yesterday. It's something that's been a part of this genome for however long we've been here. When our tribal caveman ancestors were experiencing the world, they started storing these survival memories, emotions, and that's how we got here today. So if you ignore your emotions as if you're not supposed to, because you're a man, all right, man up.
Yes, sir.
Facts.
Then you have a hard time going to sleep, and you like don't
Yeah.
feel good, and you feel
Right.
like you're ruminating.
Right.
So you have to address it, and you have to address what it is that's making you have that feeling before you're ever gonna feel better or get past that.
Blow up.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Yeah, it was, I've talked about it before, coworkers just not getting along, and like I sat down and expressed everything, and that did help.
It did help.
It did
Oh,
to
good.
a point, but it didn't really fix the issue. I got off what I need, like got off my chest, got it off my chest, whatever I needed to say,
Sure.
right? But nothing changed. Like it was just taken in one ear out the other, and it was like,
Brush it
well,
off.
fuck. At least I said what I needed to say, and you know how I feel now,
Mhm.
but nothing changed. So I'm still just kind of
Sure.
But
You're angry for a different reason though.
Yeah.
You're angry because they didn't listen.
right. That's
Yeah.
just bad leadership instead of like just not knowing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that is actually a perfect example of how judgments will always trigger an emotion, because in your mind you have perceived I got to express myself and this person's still doing the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
F you, bro.
Yeah.
But in their mind, they could have been like, I was a good leader. I listened to my airman and like heard out what he had to say.
That's exactly what that's
Maybe you
that
know
what-
I
that-
can't say it. That's what
verbatim.
happened,
That's
but-
what he said. Thanks. That's some feedback I needed to hear, and then nothing changed. I was like, well,
Sure.
okay.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a judgment. So like you judge it as this person isn't really taking care of your emotion, which is why you're angry. And anger is the first one. So I'll say this now. Anger is usually like a cover emotion for something else. Because do you feel like because whatever is happening in your workplace that you need to like fight it? Like you need to like physically
No.
get angry and fight it? No, it's because probably, and I'm guessing here, you feel sad that you don't have that like comfortable workspace that we used to have with like Manrique's leadership, plus also previous to COVID and everything. It was just a different environment. It was something that you probably could have enjoyed.
Yeah. Exactly.
And now it's not. Now that's gone. So you feel sad. And because it's this person who's in charge now, you're
Yeah.
fucking angry that they're not allowing for that
Yeah.
fun, loving, learning environment that you had previously.
Get out of my head, Tony.
Never.
He's breaking you down right
Yeah,
now.
he is. He's like, Chris, you're just a big old bitch.
Ruined.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just when you also think about how you should respond to it, like, is an angry response to your superior in any
No, it doesn't
situation
help
like a good
anybody.
idea? No,
Yeah.
of course not. But if you are able to express that from an emotional standpoint, it may help you be more successful in getting what you want in your workplace. That's my thoughts.
That's true. That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
brains.
I'm like second guess. At least I'm safe inside my mind. Here comes
At least I'm
Tony-
safe inside my
Even
mind.
Tony's rubbing you down. Tony's gonna tear me to the floor.
Yeah. Let's go.
He's gonna kick the
What
pillars
makes you
in.
angry?
Do you want to continue with anger? See why Randy's so always angry?
I really like that example right there. Like that was
Yeah.
perfect because Tony said that anger is kind of like that cover emotion, and
Yeah.
just like right there alone, he explained it's probably sadness or something, but you
Mm.
feel the anger just boiling inside of you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's huge.
So it's kind of like
Yes.
a defensive response in a way.
I see.
Put on
I'm
defense.
just curious about Randy though.
Yeah, I want
What
to hear.
makes
I
it-
wanna hear
well,
about
all right.
Randy.
My thing is not so much about anger, but we'll touch on the anger thing real quick. This is what makes me mad. I don't let people make me
What grinds
mad
your gears?
typically. Yeah, what really grinds my gears. We have like I work with patients all day long, so I work with general population kind of people who are assholes. I don't let the assholes bother me
Public.
because I know they're assholes and I know they're idiots and I really don't give a shit. What I get annoyed about are avoidable situations that happen because people didn't listen, or you said don't do that and they do it anyway, and you're like, okay, well, this was completely avoidable and now we're in this situation because you didn't fucking listen because I said that was going to happen and you didn't listen.
You can be a terrible father one day.
I'm going to be an amazing father.
Just punch your kid
but
in
that-
the face.
That's why I get mad. That's why I get mad, because it's the stuff that is, if you just stop and like take a second and think about what you're going to do first, or like think about what could happen if you do something, but you don't do that and then you just do it anyway and it causes a problem. That's what gets me mad.
I think that's why you're friends with Rumsey, because I'm kind of the same way. Rumsey is like, he'll sit there and analyze an outcome and he'll do the right thing like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Like I've
Thanks.
noticed that, like whenever like we're having a conversation or like an argument or like talking about something that's like passionate, and you literally sit there and think about everything and then you speak.
Meanwhile,
you're-
Chris is
you're
yelling
probably
at you. Are you going to fucking say something?
Yeah. He's like thinking things through. Like
Chris is
he's
the
like a
angry
genius.
wife.
Yeah, I'm like angry. Like do it now. I'm just like, wait, let me
Now.
think about this. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to interject there.
Yeah, there's a type of critical thinking like name for it. I don't know, it's in like different categories, but I forget what it is.
Yeah, well, you're good at it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But
so
I do
much.
take
not that
longer
bad.
to make a decision
Yeah.
oftentimes.
Oh my
Nothing wrong
God,
with
the other
that.
night.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What other
The other
night?
night.
About
Oh.
going out for drinks. I wasn't even there. I'm just in the group chat and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You're just a bystander.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's just because like I wasn't in a hurry.
he was on a hiatus from technology. Remember? This
We
man-
Yeah.
actually ended up
Necessary.
convincing you to go out.
True. This man says, "Hey, let's go grab drinks tomorrow night." And there's tomorrow night. Hey, let's go grab drinks at this place 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, which one? There's multiple. Didn't hear from him for like 2 hours. It's like creeping up on 7 o'clock. Right? Hello.
Okay, then I suggested a place and you like literally shot it down.
Yeah, it did.
You
I was not
came
feeling
to
it.
us town.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
no.
I was like, well, I don't really want to go out anymore. And he's like, all right, well, let's just go to your place and come out. I'll come pick you up. I was like, okay, fine. Anyway, that has neither here nor there. It's just anyway, emotions.
So that's what you guys
Chris
had a
is
group
angered
chat,
by
making
indecision.
plans with someone who couldn't come to it.
Yes.
It's bullying. But Randy, that's a great example that you gave from work. And we can talk a little bit about power control. When he was like, "You're going to be a bad dad," thinking that way. And I mean, that is like a thing. It's you're wanting to care about these other people and save them the hassle of whatever screw up that was avoidable. But your anger is kind of, I don't know if it's a fear. Well, there's probably a fear that they're
Disappointment.
going to make this. Yeah, there's that fear they're going to make the same mistake again. But also that anger might be coming from you feel like they should have done it like you would have done it.
Yeah.
It's that's what you're comfortable with. And that doesn't help because everybody's different. So
Yeah.
even after they made that mistake, you've identified that it was very avoidable with whatever fix. If you acted on your anger there, you'd be yelling at them and be like, "You're an idiot, like you're a dummy, like you knew this, you could have done this, this is what
Oh,
happened
I
last time."
want
That's
to
a
so
shame."
bad.
But if you do that, like how do you think that person's going to respond?
Shut down.
Yeah.
Not well. You're not going to get the
No.
response that you're looking for. And the same thing with children. If your kids mess up and you just hail an attack of words, yelling, beating them,
Just yeet your
yeeting your kids around, they're never going to get the lesson. They're never even going to understand how you got to the emotion that you're at. All they're going to understand is the fear of being stricken or yelled at or accosted. And you don't get to actually express the feeling that you had, which is you at your workplace, you chose a path that was less effective And here is a better, effective way to do this that would avoid this problem in the future, and that like mentor like conversation versus that like parent child
Yeah.
angry fashion. And by doing that, you get what you want, and you also don't make someone feel like shame about the way that they performed. So it's good. I'm glad
Yeah,
everyone
it's
has
good.
emotions. Who would have thunk? Not me.
Not us, Matt.
Not me.
No.
Silly.
And it's funny how both of your stories immediately kind of bounce into anger.
Yeah.
That's probably like the most easy memory to
Well,
access. Was real
the
life.
story I really wanted to talk about is more about sadness.
Okay.
Oh,
I
cool.
was
Love that.
entertaining Joe with my anger because
Ah.
everyone knows how angry
I
am.
appreciate it.
We'll save the sadness for when we.
We'll
get to
save it,
that
yeah, when we
emotion.
get there.
Deal.
Sweet.
All right. Do you want me to just hop into it?
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right. All right.
Dive
let's
on
do
in.
this. So
Show the people what you got, what you're working off of.
show the
Hell yeah,
cover
brother.
page. So is this backwards?
No, you're
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
So
Sweet.
how's the lighting?
Looks good, man. Perfect.
Yeah. You need it? Okay. So it's DBT Skills by Marcia M. Linehan. And she's kind of like one of the founders of DBT, so dialectic behavior therapy. We talked about that a little bit the last time I was here. Yeah, because I made Joe do a
tad.
dialectic on Panda Express.
That's right.
Panda.
Yeah.
We're gonna
anyway-
eat it.
So DBT is just like a method of therapy that analyzes everything from a non-judgmental stance, which is really good for emotion regulation, and it allows you to acknowledge what is good about something and also what is, causing a negative effect in your life. And that way you can hopefully move forward with whatever the thing is. But we're not talking about DBT, we're talking about emotions, but go check out DBT. So the first one I got here is anger. So prompting events for feeling anger. You have having an important goal blocked. You're someone you care about being attacked or threatened by others, losing power, status, or respect, and not having things turn out as expected.
Mine was a power and respect thing.
There's also physical or emotional pain, which the physical pain, I think you guys all have banged your shin on the corner of the bed or something. And
Oh, I just hit my knee on my
Yeah.
desk before. I
yeah.
want to punch my desk right in the face.
And from a survival standpoint, like that's a good thing. You just did something that caused harm to your body, and so your body's like, "Don't do that again." Pretty much is
Flex on it.
what's going on there. So that's like a physical thing that is judgment free in a sense. But the other part that people get wrapped up in their ego says like, I've made this judgment, and so I have every right to be angry. No one can tell me like I can't be angry. I'm actually angrier if somebody says calm down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
because that interpretation of the event is your reality. You really believe that's what's going on.
Hmm.
With your boss, you really feel like probably he doesn't give a shit about you and all the work that you do and the energy that you bring to the job, because he won't fix whatever it is that's pissing you off.
Yeah.
So some of these interpretations of events is believing that you've been treated unfairly, blaming if it's somebody else's fault, believing that important goals are being blocked or stopped, believing that things should be different than they are, rigidly thinking that I'm right, judging that the situation is illegitimate or wrong, ruminating about the event that set off the anger in the first place. So if any of this...
I raised my hand for pretty much all those.
Yeah. This event happened, so you judged it. Your frontal cortex saw this environment, and that triggered your amygdala. And now your amygdala is like, this has happened before. I'm pissed off. Let me tell the hippocampus. And the hippocampus says, that's right. You're pissed off because your coworker, Randy, did the same shit 2 weeks ago. And now that I think about it, did the same shit a month ago. And now that I think about it, ruminating on all these things, and you're not even thinking
That is
about
correct.
the actual. Yeah, exactly. You're not even thinking about that actual occurrence. It's this now memory that has an emotional attachment, because you've judged it as, let's see, believing that important goals are being blocked or stopped by wasting time, your time and their time, and whatever it is. So when I talk about using your wise mind, it's being able to say, I have this emotion. this is why I have the emotion, and then using the facts behind it, meaning a non-judgmental observation. So an example of this is Chris, when you were talking to whomever your boss is, you had that conversation. One, you were expecting it to change behavior.
Well, yeah.
Here, let me let you do this. So
Yeah.
start with your feeling, which is anger. So you know this. So
Yeah.
I feel angry because blank.
Because he came in and changed everything, and just stuff was working, and he just had to change it. It was like a power move, in my opinion.
Sure.
Granted, he might think totally different. in
These
my
are just
opinion.
your feelings. So
Yeah,
you
my
don't need to
opinion.
explain or defend them.
I'm the new boss. This is the way we're doing it. And I
Sure.
questioned, why are we doing it that way? And he couldn't give me an answer.
Sure.
So that pissed me off.
Sure. Change is scary. So separate from your emotions about that change and leadership, what is the actual fact there?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the fact of your boss or the new flight commander coming in?
What do you mean? I don't get it.
So you have an emotional attachment. This dude got there and changed shit that made you feel uncomfortable or like not having fun at work anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think that he intentionally like had this plan? Like, I'm going to come into this office
not
and
at all.
ruin Letiri's. No. The non-judgmental observation there is, I got a new boss
Gotcha.
that does things differently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the judgment comes in on that.
Stop
on
being
that
right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's
is
where the
good.
judgment comes in. You say, my boss is doing something different, then you start judging that. Because it's different, your brain is like, this might be a danger. This might actually get Chris murdered, killed. This might be the end of Chris if I don't emotionally respond to this anger that I'm feeling. When in reality, you have to check that, because it's like, what am I angry about?
True.
Like, is he like taking your apartment away from you? Is he like harming
Make
your
go in
cat?
every single
Like,
day again. Working full time again.
Did he look at you funny?
did he look at you funny?
Yes.
He did.
No,
Oh,
he did.
come get me. I'm just kidding. So by identifying where the judgment is and where the facts are, it almost makes you feel better, because somebody didn't actually come into your workplace and say, whatever your values are, whatever works best for you, we ain't doing that anymore.
True.
That's not what happened, did it? I mean,
No, that's
I
not.
wasn't
that's not
there.
No.
But your interpretation of the event, your judgment on it, is what's triggering
Yes.
that feeling. And I bet you've had bad flight commanders before, or bad bosses before, and have had good bosses. And that switch is always such a stark contrast that I got to use my last name.
Hey.
Shameless plug.
Damn.
It's such a contrast in how you're living your daily life that your hippocampus probably has a stored memory of some point where that happened, and it pisses you off because it looks like it's happening again, and your
Exactly.
body is in fight mode now.
Damn, you're smart.
We're all going
Damn,
through the
Mason,
same
you
shit, bro.
scary.
You got a high EQ.
That is that.
It's good
for
stuff.
interpretation. So this is the real important part. I'm not sure if this has happened to any of you, but sometimes something happens that affects you so much that you have no idea what you're feeling. Like, you're feeling all the things, like you're feeling neurotic and you're just out of it, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. That can be very scary because you don't know what's going on. I can't
So, like,
imagine
as an
the scary
example,
feeling.
Like,
Your
I
body
texted-
doesn't know whether to fight or to flee or
Yeah,
Just
because remember,
confused.
like,
Confusion.
what, 2-3 days ago, I messaged you guys. I was like, I'm pissed off at the world right now. It's before we going out. I was like, I'm just pissed off. I don't know why. I'm just like really upset.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know why.
So
what
this
you're
is
talking
very
about?
fresh for you.
Yeah.
When that happens, there is an emotion that your body's feeling. But if you're able to identify what the biological changes are within you, it might help you identify that emotion. Once you can identify the emotion, you can explain, why am I feeling this way? And then go and look for that non-judgmental observation to get the facts. Like, what are the facts about this situation? So looking at the biological changes of anger to help identify when you're feeling it, the ones that we have listed here are muscles tightening, so clenching up, teeth clamping together, hands clenching, feeling your face flush or get hot, feeling like you're going to explode, being unable to stop tears, wanting to hit someone, Randy, bang the wall,
Definitely.
throw something, blow
Done
up,
that.
Yep.
or
Done
wanting
those.
to hurt someone.
Yep.
I experienced all of that on Call of Duty.
it's not an exclusive list, but if something like that is happening, your heart rate is increasing, and you notice that you like want to clench your fists, or your muscles are tightening up, or your shoulders are coming up this way. It could be indicative that your emotion that you're feeling is anger. And at which point you need to be mindful of that. Check in with your body, try and relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw. It helps a lot with getting into your wise mind and identifying what's going on with me.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Playing Call of Duty, how often do I tell you, Talon, I gotta get off, dude. My heart rate's skyrocketing. I'm so pissed off right now.
Yeah, it's pretty often.
At least I know that my heart rate's like pumping and I need to stop.
You know that your anger is kicking in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I just go punch my pillow.
Gronk spike your controller.
One pillow in particular. That
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free pillow.
I just lay into it and I come back. I'm like, all right, I'm
This
good.
is my COD punching pillow.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's all I had to say for that. Is trying to get into your wise mind. You have to realize that you are in an emotional state, and that's why you're acting that way. Randy.
Just basically just be able to try and identify like what you're feeling. Yeah.
Because it gives you the control now. Because now you're just not like wanting to punch somebody in the face for no reason. You're not wanting to tell your boss off for no reason. It's like, oh, I'm feeling anger, and this is why I feel that way. And the best part about that is that you're able to then manage your own emotions, and you're not expecting someone else to apologize or fawn to you or do something that will dictate your next emotion. You're identifying it yourself and doing what it takes to process that.
That's huge.
It's huge. It's huge, and we are not taught that in our society.
Never.
And hence, that's why everybody's fighting and arguing.
Bottle it up.
Yeah.
And this is kind of hopefully motivation to why you should start paying attention to emotions. These are the after effects, so we'll talk about these for each emotion as well. The after effects of engaging with your anger, feeling anger, include narrowing of attention, attending only to the situation that's making you angry, which then makes you angrier, ruminating about the situation, making you angry, or about situations in the past, which I think we've all done that. Imagining future situations that will make you angry, depersonalization, dissociative experiences, and numbness. And another one that me and my wife have gone through this book is fixate. You're angry about something, and now not only are you angry about it, you keep thinking about it, and that's making you angry.
Dude, that's my word. That's my downfall right there.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna
Your
call
mental's
you
going
out, but
crazy.
Yeah. I know Rumsey does that too. Like, we both do it because we both vent to each other. And, like, you know, it could be like the next day. Dude, fuck. Like, I'm still pissed off.
I mean, I think everyone feels that at least at
Exactly,
some
but
point. Exactly.
This is why we got to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
We gotta,
And it's so good to just identify, like, you know what, that happened to me the other day.
Yeah.
Because the next time it happens, the next time you guys feel anger, I hope that you think of me. No, don't think of me. But
I want to punch you
I will.
in the face.
How dare you tell me about these things?
instead of it being this like uncontrolled state of rage, to be able to identify, like, I'm feeling angry right now. Like, that, even saying that in itself usually takes a lot of fuel out of the fire. Just identifying the emotion. And for the after effects, I already read that for anger, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruminating.
Sure.
Don't do it. Okay, cool. So that's anger. I don't know if any of the other guys thought of a experience they had with feeling anger and wanted to share.
I want to hear either Jared or
I just-
Talon.
So I remember I was very angry as a kid.
oh, I was
I
so
was-
angry as a kid.
think- I think it had something to do with me being the youngest of 7.
Oh, I bet.
And
I'm
I
angry thinking
felt
about
like, I was the youngest, so that gave me kind of an edge over kind of like the middle childs of the family. However, I feel like I was always fighting for attention, and I also wanted the attention of my oldest brother because I looked up to him, and sometimes he was, too busy. Also, he's 8 years older than me, so
He's doing his own thing.
when I'm 5 years old and he's 13, then
That's
he
good math.
probably doesn't want to hang out with the 5-year-old brother.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah, no, it's good math.
So yeah, I was angry as a kid. I remember that for sure. Like I would, my brother Caleb and we would be going inside from like playing outside or whatever, and I would race him to the front door, and if he beat me, I would punch him. Like I would just start punching him.
Oh.
I relate to that,
If he beat
Chris.
me,
Shut up, Joe.
so yeah, I guess I was very competitive, and I was also fighting for attention sometimes. So
Damn,
I,
that's deep.
No.
I remember being super angry as a kid.
And if we know this now, like if we can understand how we feel now, that helps us. Like if we do have kids one day, understand what they're feeling, and
Oh,
like you
yeah.
can relate.
Yeah, I know for me, anger's not a feeling I honestly have very often. Most of the time when anger is something that happens to me short-lived, and then it kind of evolves into depression. Like I get angry at something, and then it just kind of makes me sad. But the same
Like-
thing as Jared. As a kid, I do remember multiple times when I was angry. I was also a middle child. I mean, I was in 8th grade.
He was youngest.
Huh?
He
Oh
was
yeah, you're
youngest.
youngest. Yeah,
I was
I was middle child.
Mm.
So and I was middle. I was youngest. And then I became the middle child when I was in 8th grade. So I was pretty old. And then my brother was born. So it's just stuff like that. I mean, I remember.
Wait, you have a brother?
Yeah, I do.
What the hell?
Oh.
Learn something new every day.
Has
There you
has
go.
anyone else heard about
What?
this?
No.
No, you didn't tell your
feel like I
parents you've been
have.
married for like 2 years, and now you're telling us you have a brother.
Yeah, I have a brother. Yeah, he's in 5th grade.
Talon, you
so
need to write a book on the art of secret keeping.
Yeah, you're really good at it.
no one asked me these questions.
No, I didn't know you had a brother. Anyway, go on.
Guess
Yeah,
we should
so
ask.
I mean, I went from the youngest child to the middle child, and I remember like especially like middle school, I feel like I was angry a lot. My parents were divorced when I was like at the end of elementary school. Middle school was just like I was angry. So like I remember like yelling at my mom. I was like thinking back to it now, it's just like Mom, if you listen to this, I'm so sorry for like how angry I was. But yeah, now honestly, I get angry very rarely, and then it just like makes me sad because a lot of time my anger normally stems from something that, I mean, most emotions stem from something that's out of your control. It's not something that you cause. It's from something that someone else caused or something in your environment. So I get angry at first, but then I get depressed because I don't have power over that fact of what just happened to me. And then that's why it turns into depression, because it just kind of builds up and just kind of sits.
And you're just fixated on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yep.
See, I tied it in. I learned something.
Yeah.
you crushed it.
Oh.
No, that's great. And Talon, with that example, did you guys get to check out Midnight Gospel?
What?
You did?
Mhm.
Okay. Because they talk about that in that same episode, the experience of having a sibling born and how that completely changes your world, especially if they started calling you like Big Brother or something like that, putting this almost pressure to be more responsible or just be responsible, I guess is the best word for it. And you're not. You're still very much so small. I guess you were in 8th grade, so you're a little bit bigger, but you're still an 8th grader. Like, what would you
Yeah.
trust an 8th grader to do in life? Like, not much. And they shouldn't be expected to. Hopefully, they have parents that are taking care of them, or some caregiver that is. So that, yeah, losing the ability to control your environment, that is what is going to be triggering anger for you. And a lot was changing. Your parents are divorced. You're probably absorbing some of that emotional experience for either your parents, on top of this human being becoming a priority in your parents' life now. A lot was changing there. And again, by describing those, I just felt a little sad. Like hearing that, little 8th grade Talon, like all this shit's happening and like no one's even listening, and nor were you educated in a way to be expressive of what you were feeling. So it's probably a lot of sadness, and if I can't be sad, then I'm gonna be mad. And yell at your mom, who cares about you so much. It's the emotional mind can cause you to do some things that will make worse emotions later on. So the more mindful you are, the better. And then with you, Jared, you felt like you were being treated unfairly, pretty much was the interpretation. Even though, like you just said, like, why would this grown brother of mine want to hang out with a 5-year-old? In your mind, it's like,
Yeah.
am I not good enough? Like, what's the issue?
I was the coolest 5-year-old. I'll tell you what.
Is that why it's like your life goal to just get swole? Are you still trying to
Yes.
prove something to your older brother?
Oh my god.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, first, if you actually, fine, let's dive into
if
it.
you must know.
Okay, no, here's the 60 seconds. So,
Okay.
yeah, I did start working out because I had body image issues.
Mm.
I started working out in high school, like I think sophomore or junior year of high school. I started working out like in my room, I had my yoga mat, my 20-pound dumbbells, jump rope, and then I joined track.
Full gym,
Didn't take
man.
it too seriously, but I did it to like get fit. Yeah, so that's why I started to work out, was body image issues. But then once I actually got big, I'm like, well, I don't want to look
Oh, he's
super
big
big.
now.
I don't want to look like that guy, like roided out. And I also care about my health. So now it's pretty much solely for health and just to like de-stress and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
Makes sense.
I think that's why I like working out with you, because you're not about getting the biggest, the strongest. You're about like what is healthy, and I want to get to my max potential of health, and that's it. And I love working out with you, buddy. You're a good
Aw.
influence. Yeah,
Oh,
What a
I love
guy.
you, bro.
Glad
That's
he's
so
canceling
cute.
his gym membership. Chris, tell us how you were mad when Jared canceled his gym membership.
He didn't cancel it, dude. We worked out together today.
Oh.
Yeah, this man, he's come back. I haven't seen him for 3 weeks. He's in Vegas, right? And he's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Chris, bro, I think it's a good time to tell you. It's like getting broken up with. I think I'm gonna cancel my gym membership. I was like, what?
You felt so betrayed.
I did.
You're like, we are no longer
Felt betrayed.
friends. That was the first thing you said to him.
I was joking, but like, no, it did suck. But he didn't do it yet. He's waiting to build his home gym entirely, and then do it, which I respect. I thought about
Okay.
it, took myself out of the situation. What is the fact of Jared Rumsey wanting to quit the gym? Saving money.
I
He could do it at home.
see.
Why not? See,
It's not wrong
Huge
for him
brains.
to end his
That's-
gym
that's-
membership.
example number 2. I've learned something from you today.
I hope this helps. I'm
Thank
just super happy that is there 6 of us?
Yeah.
Six
Yep.
guys just talking about emotions.
Yeah.
The year's already gotten better.
All right.
All right.
So,
we
Tony,
talked
what's
about
the next
anger.
one?
We talked about anger, so the next one is going to be fear. Anger is something that we as men are always recommended to express. However, fear, we're always told not to express fear because it's a sign of weakness. And it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of your humanity. We talked about it a little bit before, is you have that emotion of fear because your body is saying the next step could be the end of your life, is the reason for that emotion. And so that you take a different course of action based on that. So, some prompting events for feeling fear. I actually don't feel like I need to read this because we've all been scared, I'm assuming.
Yep.
This
No.
happened. So,
I don't feel
So
fear.
cold.
so what I would like to do is kind of, if we can just go around and talk about a moment when you felt fear and how you got to express it.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Said talk about your feelings, bro.
All right. I got a fear of heights, and I fly for a living.
Sure.
Makes no sense.
Good start.
But I know I can't control what happens if we go down in the plane. It's over. I've accepted that.
Sure.
What I was fearful about was going on a hike on Angel's Landing in Utah with Rumsey. And there's a part where like you just have like there's a drop.
It's
on
gnarly.
both
Oh.
sides. If they just Google Angel's Landing in Zion National Park. And I made it like almost all the way to the top. And there's the last little bit, man. You're holding onto a chain and you're climbing like a narrow, I'm talking probably like 6 feet wide stone path. But on either side of that path is, I don't know how many hundreds of feet drop, maybe thousands.
Yeah,
Sounds
maybe
wild.
I'll post a video of
Yeah.
us climbing up that
Yeah.
little piece.
But-
Ooh.
I got to all the way to that part and I was like frozen my boots. I was like,
Oof.
I can't do this. So I bitched out, and the rest of the guys continued on and made it to the top. And I was like, I'm just gonna wait for you guys. Like, I don't trust myself. I'm just gonna wait here.
Yeah.
That was like, dude, I'm sweating. Like, I remember that. Like,
Yeah.
I hate heights, dude. Like that shit was crazy.
I'm terrified
yeah.
of heights too. I can't even go on like Ferris wheels or like
Really?
gondolas. Yeah,
Wow.
Oh, and I'll do that all day.
I can't do stuff like that.
I
No.
don't. It's the weirdest
Yeah.
thing. Like, if I'm not in control, I'm okay with it. But if I like knowing if like my foot's gonna slip and it's because of me, like that's where I get really scared.
I remember you hated bridges when we were younger. Like,
Dude, I
we,
hate it because I'm still driving, right? Like I'm still the one
Yeah.
doing it. So
Yeah,
like driving
he would
over
never be in
Delaware
the
Bridge
side
is
lane.
have you ever driven that bridge, Delaware
Interesting.
Memorial?
What's that?
The
Which
Delaware
bridge?
Memorial Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going over that for the first time, I was like, oh my god, scary.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
big bridge.
interesting. See, and I'm not your therapist.
Bug
No
bridge.
way qualified. But that just sounds like a moment in your mind that you're mindful of, is that if you feel that it's your personal action that's keeping you safe,
Yeah.
then you feel fear.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at some point when you were a kid growing up, you took that responsibility and said, I'm Big Chris and I'm going to do something, and something bad probably happened. Or
Probably.
something that was
Nothing
stored.
comes to mind, but I'm sure there's plenty
Yeah,
of stuff.
if you thought through it, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Damn. What about you boys?
For me,
Yeah.
it was, let's see, when I extended the first time. So I came to the end of my 6-year enlistment, and it was fear that drove me to extend for a year.
We talked about that in our episode.
I mean,
Yeah.
at least I know for me too. That's the reason why I re-enlisted was fear.
The fear of the unknown.
That is actually the number one fear, I believe.
And then I guess for another fear for me, I hate speaking in front of people as I'm being recorded right now. But I think it happens time I have to talk in front of anyone. I overthink it like crazy. So it's just like a week before, like if I know it's coming up, I'm thinking about it every single night. Like I lose sleep for like an entire week because I can't stop thinking about it.
Really?
And then literally like I get up there and it's like 20 minutes over. I'm just like, it's done. Literally no one just it doesn't affect anyone else. Because it's not it's just one person talking for like 20 minutes. It's not a big deal. But yeah, like it's just I guess it's just fear for me. But yeah, it really affects me because I just overthink things and overanalyze it. So
I have a question. So Chris, you said that how did you felt fear in going down that cliff or whatever it was. How did you get to express that? Because I heard you say like I just bitched out.
Yeah. I just froze. I was like, guys, I tried it. I attempted like a little section, and I was like, I can't do this.
Sure.
So I just told him like, you guys go on. I'm just gonna wait here. Like I know I can't. I don't feel comfortable. Like I'm not doing it.
This is when emotions get complex. So you've grown up in a society where you are not supposed to be fearful at all. You very much so felt fearful for a legitimate, like, this could be dangerous. Like, I could hurt myself.
Yeah.
doing
Then not
this.
to mention, like 2 months later, there's like headline like some girl fell off and died.
Oof.
Yeah. Even more reason, like,
Yeah.
this is a scary, thing. You
Yeah.
know, there's a chance that you wouldn't be harmed at all,
Right.
also, but because you felt that way, you had to feel shame from society, like, oh, I can't tell my boys that I'm scared to hurt myself. I'm scared to break my leg, friends, but I'm too much of a man to admit it. So now you feel shameful and you have to hide it. And you kind of just self-deprecate that way. I'm like, guys, I'm bitching out because that's like acceptable, I guess. Instead of saying like, hey, I'm scared I might hurt myself, guys. It's like, oh, I'm bitching out, I'll see you guys later, bro.
So these feelings of fear can like devolve into other emotions.
Oh yeah, and that's also the attachment we have with it, because men in society can't be afraid, can't be weak, can't be scared. It's just not the case. Talon, I had something to say to you, and it was in English. I'm sure of it.
I sure hope so.
So another complexity is with fear. It can cause anxiety. And a lot of people have that with public speaking. They feel anxious about public speaking. And so it starts attaching this fear to it. But anxiety is not necessarily bad, because I get public speaking anxiety, but it's in a sense that I'm excited. It's like for the next 20 minutes or however long, all you motherfuckers have to listen to me. I don't care if you're interested or not. This is my time to shine. So my heart will start racing. I'll get like butterflies. Like I'm ready to go. Whereas you just, sounds like even before the event itself, you feel fearful that.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is fine. And you should be mindful of that, but also think, I feel afraid because I don't want to speak in front of people, or I don't like the way my voice sounds, or whatever the judgment is. And then say, what's the fact about public speaking?
You have to give a speech. That's it.
No.
Yeah. Is it actually going to hurt you? Are you going to experience physical harm by
Maybe if
public
Randy's
speaking?
listening in the audience and he doesn't like
They're
it.
like, I'm so bored. I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Yeah, it's not like I can fall off a cliff. Public speaking, like worst case scenario, I fall off the stage. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Or
how it
Randy
feels, right?
RKOs
You
you
like
off
can't
the
sleep at
stage.
night.
Yeah.
Randy,
Watch
you're
out, watch
not
out, watch
invited
out!
to any public event. Yeah. So with that fear-driven anxiety, it can both make public speaking a very scary thing, or it can make it a good thing. So that emotion is actually useful in two different cases. Joe, you had a fear experience?
I did have a fear experience. Actually, one of the most scared I've ever been was actually in a driving situation. I was coming up behind two cars that were going extremely slow. Actually, I thought it was only one car. It was a motorcycle in front of a car that I never saw. And they're doing, I believe, about 25 and a 50. So I'm like, screw these guys. I'm just going to pass them real quick. And I'm doing like, I don't know, 60. It was going a little fast. And I go to pass the
About
car.
350.
About 350. And as I go to pass the car, the motorcycle in front that I never saw starts turning left into a development. And I'm already in the left lane about to pass him. And I'm like, oh my God. So my options were to either swerve right or just cram the dude. Obviously, I swerved right. And I kind of went right into the shoulder. I was going so fast, I thought I was going to go into the grass, but I got myself back on the road. And I got up to like the next stop sign. I was so scared afterwards. Like I was just shaking in the car. Just kind of like broke down for a second. I'm like, I almost just killed a person.
Jeez.
And yeah, or myself. So that was probably one of the scariest moments I've ever had, fear-wise, but I learned from it. So,
You did.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
The first time you got to tell that story, how did you like express your feelings there?
You know, it wasn't my fault, right?
Sure.
Why were they going so slow?
Oh, you're being defensive about it.
Yeah, defensive.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was absolutely defensive, but no, in reality, it was my fault. So I'm accepting of it.
Were you angry at the people going slow? So therefore,
Yes.
you went around, and therefore you got fearful.
Yes, exactly.
I was
Break it
angry at the
down.
people going slow just hearing that story.
Yeah. When I
got
see
a little
25
battery.
and a 50, I was a little bit angry.
Don't come to Nebraska because that's all they do.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right.
Says the one with all the road rage.
Dude, yeah. Anger, road rage. Anyway.
I got a fear one, real quick.
Go ahead.
2 seconds. Honestly, probably the most scared I've been in my life. I was hiking
Full service.
and we saw a mountain lion
Oh,
Oh,
Nah.
shit. Where?
literally up by my house, like that way.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Um,
Damn.
So we do have them around here. They're really rare, but yeah, it was me and my one buddy, and we were hiking out in the woods, and it was like up on top of like a ridge, and we like kind of walked up, and it walked to the edge, and we were like, oh shit, and I was like, all right, well I'm good because I'm faster than him, but.
That was your thought
Hey,
at the
you don't
moment.
have to be
Okay.
the fastest. You
Fast
just can't
on
be
your
the
butt.
slowest. But
exactly.
yeah, it was like it was scary because you don't know like you can like yell at a bear and a bear will probably run away, but like you don't know what an animal like that is gonna do. And
No,
luckily
absolutely not.
luckily it just kind of like went on its way and left us alone. It definitely saw us. Like there's no way it didn't see us.
That's
but-
what you think. It's been stalking you ever since.
It
It's just
probably-
waiting for its day.
Oh, I hope so.
Check out your window.
And that's like
There
that's
he
the
is.
OG fear.
Fucker.
That's like why our brains invented fear.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because back in the day, when you didn't have a house protecting you and you were in the wilderness, if there's some predator around, you better be a little bit fearful until you figure out how to kill and eat it.
Yeah, I had nothing to kill it with, so
Yeah, which is why
You
your
didn't
brain
want
is
to
like,
punch
I'm
in its
scared.
face?
Yeah.
not
He didn't
particularly.
He didn't feel
no.
anger.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a
People
really
with
cool
fear.
experience in hindsight because it's like you don't get to see that kind of stuff ever
Yeah,
in the
sure.
wild. But like
And
when it
walk
was
away.
happening, it's like, holy shit! Like, what do I do if this thing comes at me? I'm fucked. It's faster than me. It's stronger than me. There's nothing I can do about this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that happens with a lot of people with phobias, like arachnophobia, for example.
Spooters.
That little house spider is not going to hurt you, but because it looks like something scary, you go into that response, and it's fine. People have fear of heights, fear of spiders because
There's a
they're just
bee's
like,
nest
"That's
in my
going to kill
light."
me."
Right now.
Doesn't sound like you're scared of bees, though.
No.
In your bedroom?
Yeah, that was that Snapchat I sent the other day. There's totally
I
a
didn't know it
bee's
was in your
nest
bedroom, bro.
in
What
the
are you
light
doing?
directly above me right now.
Do you hear
Oh,
them?
Like
No, I
high.
don't hear them. I don't think they're in
Yeah,
there.
dude,
There's
take it
probably
out. Let's see.
nothing
Let's
in
see
it.
what's inside it right
You
now.
want to take it out? You want to do it live on camera?
No.
I'm
I'm
trying to do it.
We're gonna do it after live on camera. I'm gonna keep recording it. though.
Patreon.
Yes.
Watch
Yeah.
Randy get stung.
But to just address fear for us, especially as men, sometimes we don't know that we're fearful, that we're scared because we're not familiar with expressing the fact that I'm scared. So some things that will be biological changes are breathlessness, having a fast heartbeat, choking sensations or a lump in the throat, muscles tensing and cramping, clenching your teeth, urge to scream or call out, feeling nauseated, getting cold or feeling clammy, feeling your hair standing on end, feeling of butterflies in your stomach, and wanting to run away or avoid things. So if you're sensing any of those changes in yourself, you could be like, I'm scared right now, and not judging it as being scared makes you weak or less of a man, but analyzing like I'm a human being and I feel fearful, and being able to take that and analyze like what am I afraid of here? You know, why am I afraid to go public speak? Is someone actually going to hurt me if I do this? Is it going to bring me any bodily harm at all? If the answer is no, you need to just process it that way instead of saying like I can't be scared. I'm a man. I'm not scared of anything.
I'm a big strong man.
It's way more effective to acknowledge that feeling in order to move forward from it. And if you do experience fear, here are some after effects of it, which are narrowing of attention. So you're only focused on that one thing that's risking your life, like The Rock. Being hyper vigilant to the threat, so becoming paranoid, and just like constantly feeling fear, like there's always a spider behind me.
It's on my
Or a bee's
shoulder.
nest.
Oh,
Yeah. Losing your ability to focus or becoming disoriented or dazed. Losing control altogether. So kind of either freezing or running away just nonstop because you're
Pooping your pants.
Yeah, like those videos where people have like a fake giant spider that like falls down when
Yeah.
someone opens the door or whatever, and you just run. Like,
Or the little costume
No
they put on their
thought.
dog.
yeah. or
Talon,
that
get
too,
one
or
for
the
Bear.
Cats and cucumbers.
I got an octopus one. Close enough.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Got here. Imagining the possibility of more loss or failure, isolating yourself, which is a huge one that will often lead to depression, and ruminating about other threatening times. So when you're experiencing fear and not allowing yourself to identify it as an emotion, and get into your wise mind as to why you're feeling that way and what is the non-judgmental stance about it, you're always going to feel the after effects of that fear, and you're always going to have that fear ruminating because now there's other things that could be in your environment that are dangerous to your well-being.
Damn.
Don't be afraid to
Right.
be afraid, boys.
Yeah, we're men. We
Yep.
can be afraid.
Oh yeah.
Afraid of being the beta.
Oh!
So
facts.
so if you're like Talon, you say you have trouble public speaking. Is there a way to turn that anxiety into excitement? Because I think I heard that from maybe it was Jordan Peterson. He said, try to turn that anxiety into excitement. and
Wait,
that
you don't
can
have a
help you
book?
Approach like I have Jordan Peterson. That can help you approach that with a better state of mind and like more confidence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think it all starts at like just being able to identify the fear, and like at least then you can rationally think about it. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna get hurt from this, and then you can try and work from there. Exactly.
It's all the facts.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Bug facts. Yeah.
Huge
Sweet.
bug
So we
facts.
talked about anger today. Talked about fear with another guest, Tony Stark. So that's part 1. Tune in next week for part 2.
All right, guys. This has been Lessons Learned. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and go follow our other social media pages linked in the description. From all of us here at Lessons Learned, have a good day and see ya.